Hey everybody, it's James here from Guitarist.com, and today I'm going to show you how to play 9 to 5 by Dolly Parton. It goes like this. So as you can see, the chords are actually pretty straightforward. It's just 4 basic campfire chords, D, G, A, and E. The real trick comes in with the rhythm. You'll notice that the verse has a totally different feel than the chorus, and transitioning between those and making it still feel like you're playing the same song, like that's the kind of stuff that we're going to be going over today. Really quick though, before we get started, if you have not grabbed your copy of my free ebook, I'll put a link to that in the corner and down below. It's free for all my subscribers. Goes over the campfire chords, your strumming patterns, the chord progressions, all the stuff that you need to get started on guitar, and a bunch of stuff that you can work on if you have already gotten started with guitar. I'll put a link down below for that. If you have not yet taken a moment to subscribe to the channel, I'd appreciate if you could quickly do that. Just like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell icon. That way you'll be notified about future lessons, and that's a great way to help support the channel, and I truly do appreciate those of you who do subscribe. Either way, we're going to jump right in and take a quick look at the chord shapes. Our first chord is D. And from there we go to G, and I like to leave my ring finger down when I make that switch. Makes it really convenient. You don't even have to look, it helps with that. And then we're also going to be switching from D to A. And we have our D chord, we leave our ring finger down, we drag it to the 2nd fret, and we can make our A chord pretty easily that way. Later on in the tune, we have an E chord, and we'll be going from G into E. So I also recommend practicing that switch. If you need help with chord switching, that free ebook I mentioned is great for that. I'm just going to show you the chord order for the verse. So you can see here we have our D chord 2 times, G 2 times, D 2 times, A 2 times. And then we have pretty much the same thing, except that last line. We go D, A, D, D. I recommend, especially if you need some help with those chord shapes, with your transitions, just going through it downstrokes only, going 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, G, 2, 3, 4, G, 2, 3, and just going like that. You could even sing along. And try to come to life. Just strumming through those chords with downstrokes only. That's a great exercise for helping out your chord hand. And once you're comfortable with that, we can add some strumming. And for this part, the strumming is really simple. The pattern is just 4 downstrokes, but we need to palm mute it. And to do that, I'm bringing my palm a little bit. I'm just overlapping a tiny bit of the strings. If you overlap too much, it completely kills the notes. And if you don't do it enough, some of the notes kind of ring out weirdly. So you find that sweet spot where it sounds like rich and deep and a little bit muted. And you just do your downstrokes on the D chord. And we're going to play, we're going to count to 4 2 times. So every one of those chord symbols equals counting to 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we switch to G. Pour myself a cup of ambition. And we do the G for 4 downstrokes 2 times, then back to D, and so on and so forth, right? And we do that pretty much for the whole thing, except at the very end. You see at the very end, we have D chord 2 times. We're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. So we do the 4 downstrokes as usual, and then on that very last D, we just hit it once, and we're not palm muting anymore. We just do bang. There's a big hit on beat 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. So I'm going to play through the entire verse right now. And if you're not sure what's going on, you can always just watch me do this, rewind it, and try it with me afterwards. 1, 2, 3, 4. And that is how you play the verse. If you want to add something kind of fun to it, for the very intro of the song, we can go. So I'm just playing downstrokes on the D chord for 3 measures. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then I go 1, and then I play the 2nd fret of the A string. 2, 3, 4. Literally the notes are 2, 3, 4, but the timing is also 2, 3, 4. So that might be confusing. But basically for that last measure, I hit the D chord on beat 1, and then 2, 3, 4. So that intro, once again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And that's copying what they're doing on piano and stuff during the recording of the song. Anyways, that's our verse. Now for our chorus, we're going to do an entirely different strumming pattern. And the E chord is going to come into play. There's a few things going on here. Here are the chords for the chorus. So we play our G chord with our strumming pattern 4 times, then D 4 times, G 4 times, E 2 times, and A 2 times. And then we do that all over again. So our chorus is just that chord progression 2 times. As far as the chords, it's pretty straightforward, just playing, all these chord shapes. We need to take a look at the strumming pattern, and it is the most common strumming pattern ever with one little difference. It goes like this. So I'll do that really slowly. 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And if you're familiar with the most common strumming pattern ever, if you're not familiar with it, I have a lesson dedicated to it. I'll put a link to that in the corner. But if you're familiar with it, you'll know that we miss on beat 3. We go down, down, up, miss, up, down, up. But in this case, we're stopping the strings on beat 3. We're going to mute them so that they don't ring out anymore. We're going to go down, down, up, mute, up, down, up. And for that mute, I'm just touching the same part of my palm that does the palm muting to the strings. I don't have to do it in that location. I can do it right in the middle. And I'm just stopping the strings. And I'm making sure that when I do that, my pick ends up under the strings so that I can follow it up with an upstroke. So let's just try going mute, up, down, up. 1, 2, mute, up, down, up. 1, 2, mute, up, down, up. And you want to get really comfortable with that. Then we just add the beginning going down, down, up, mute, up, down, up, down, down, up, mute, up, down, up. And we want to get that pretty quick. That's the one thing. This song's super fast. It's like, And when it comes to doing something like that, you want to be really good at doing it slowly and then up the tempo bit by bit. And it might take a while. I know, when I was my first year or two of playing guitar, I couldn't play something that fast and still make it sound smooth. I'd tense up and, So the key is to really take your time with it. As far as like tempos are concerned, you could start at like 88. That's a really good tempo to like just go down, down, up, mute, up, down, up. That's a pretty comfy tempo. That can be your first goal. And eventually you'll want to reach like 160, 170, which is pretty much twice as fast as that. And that's where you'd end up. Either way, we're taking that strumming pattern. We're going to do it way slower, and we're going to apply it to our chord progression. Let's do 104 beats per minute. 1, 2, working. 9, 2, 5. What a way to make a living. When it comes to putting this song together, I recommend practicing the verse and the chorus separately and getting really good at each of them because they have different feels. You know, the verse has that thing in the chorus. So you'll want to practice transitioning from the verse into the chorus and then from the chorus into the other part. So in order to do that, let's just take a look at the end of the verse. Remember, on that D chord, we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. And then we rest for beats 2, 3, and 4. Well, during that time, we can get our arm waving so that we're ready to go. We can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and. You know, so I went 2, and 3, and 4, and I got my arm swinging down and up so that it's like got that momentum. And then when I start playing the chorus, I'm just like, you know, floating along, right? My tempo's staying the same. So let's just try that with our metronome. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and. You know, you don't have to play too much of either section. We're just playing the very end of the verse, going into the very beginning of the chorus. And the other thing would be after the chorus, we go into our intro. And our intro can be as simple as 4 measures of D with the downstrokes. Or during that last measure, you can go and, you know, add that. Totally up to you. Regardless, our chorus ends with and then our next section goes like that. So we want to work on that transition too. We want to play our A chord with our strumming pattern a couple times. And then just a couple measures of that next bit. And once you've practiced all that, it's going to be no problem to throw this entire tune together. And if you want to play along with me, I have a full playthrough where I play the entire song start to finish. That's on my Patreon page. I'll put a link to that down below if you're interested. Otherwise, don't forget to check out my free ebook. I also have a bunch of courses. My beginner course, Learn Guitar Once and For All, helps you with the chords, strumming, playing songs, you know, playing the entire song and making it feel good. I have a bunch of other courses that cover more in-depth strumming, fingerstyle, bar chords, lead guitar. I'll put a link to all that stuff down below. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask in the comments. Either me or my wife will get back to you. We try our best to check the comments regularly. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Have a fun time practicing, and I'll see you soon.